This person loves you but has a serious problem with your appecrance. My beloved child, listen closely, because this message found you on purpose. Don't skip, even if your heart tightens right now. There is someone who loves you deeply, fiercely, and more quietly than you realize. They watch you when you're unaware, they feel protective of you in rooms you haven't entered yet, and they imagine a future where your presence brings them peace. But here is the uncomfortable truth that has been circling in the shadows: their love is wrestling with a serious problem connected to how you look, not because you are lacking, but because their own wounds are screaming. Something huge is waiting for you in this revelation, and it changes how you see everything that follows. Here's what they won't say out loud. Their issue is not your face, your body, or your style. It's the mirror you hold up to their insecurity. When they look at you, they feel exposed. Your confidence triggers their fear of not being enough. Your uniqueness threatens the fragile image they try to maintain. Don't skip this part. They love you, but love has collided with comparison, with old standards they were taught, with voices from their past that told them what acceptable should look like. They're torn between desire and doubt, admiration and anxiety. And every time they hesitate, they tell themselves it's about you, when it's really about them. Now breathe, because the turning point is near. Stay till the end, because this is where the power shifts into your hands. You were never meant to shrink to fit someone else's comfort. The tension you feel is not rejection, it's resistance to growth, on their side. Something huge is waiting for you, clarity. The truth is approaching, and with it comes a choice that will redefine the connection. Don't skip. What's coming next will reveal whether love rises to meet truth, or fear chooses to stay small. My beloved child, this is the part where the silence starts making sense. Don't skip, because what you are about to hear explains the strange mixed signals, the hot and cold behavior, the moments where affection feels strong one day and distant the next. This person's love for you is real, but it is tangled in an internal battle they never invited you into. They admire you, yet they are afraid of how others might see you together. Not because you are unworthy, but because they are terrified of judgment, comparison, and losing control over the image they try so hard to protect. Something huge is waiting for you here, understanding without self-blame. Look deeper now. Their issue with your appearance is not about beauty, it's about power. Your presence challenges their comfort zone. Your authenticity disrupts the version of life they thought they were supposed to live. When they imagine being with you publicly, they feel exposed, vulnerable, and seen in ways they don't know how to handle. Don't skip this truth. They fear questions. They fear opinions. They fear having to defend their choice to love you instead of fitting into expectations placed on them long before you existed. And rather than confronting those fears, they project the discomfort outward, quietly convincing themselves that something about you is the problem. But here is the shift: stay till the end of this part. You are not here to be edited, corrected, or reshaped to soothe someone else's insecurity. Something huge is waiting for you: awareness of your own value. The confusion you've been feeling is not intuition failing you, it's intuition asking you to see clearly. Love that requires you to doubt yourself is standing at a crossroads. Either it grows up and chooses courage, or it remains stuck in fear. Don't skip what comes next, because the next part reveals what this tension is pushing you toward, and why your life is about to demand a decision that changes everything. My beloved child, now we enter the moment where truth begins to press harder on the heart. Don't skip, because this part exposes what they are feeling but refusing to admit, even to themselves. This person does not dislike your appearance, they are unsettled by how comfortable you are in your own skin. Your way of being feels effortless, and that highlights everything they still struggle to accept about themselves. Something huge is waiting for you in this realization, because it explains why their love sometimes feels restrained, cautious, or oddly measured. Understand this clearly. When they look at you, they feel two opposite emotions at the same time, attraction and fear. They are drawn to you, yet scared of being seen beside someone who does not apologize for existing. Don't skip this. Your authenticity threatens the masks they wear to survive in their world. Being with you would require them to answer questions they've avoided for years, about confidence, self-worth, and who they truly are when no one is watching. Instead of facing that inner work, they hesitate, criticize silently, or pull back, convincing themselves that distance will quiet the discomfort. Stay till the end, because this is where your power becomes undeniable. Something huge is waiting for you, the freedom to stop internalizing someone else's unresolved struggles. You were never meant to be loved in halves or conditions. The tension you feel is a signal, not a punishment. It is asking you to recognize that real love does not shrink you, it rises to meet you. Don't skip what comes next, because the next part reveals whether this connection transforms through honesty, or collapses under the weight of unspoken fear. My beloved child, this is where the pressure reaches its peak, and the truth can no longer stay hidden. Don't skip, because this part reveals what is quietly building beneath the surface. This person is standing at an inner edge. Their love wants to move forward, but their fear keeps pulling them back. They replay conversations in their head, imagining how others might react, how opinions might form, how control might slip from their hands. Something huge is waiting for you here, the realization that their struggle has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with their readiness. Here is the part that stings, but heals once you see it clearly. They believe love should feel safe, predictable, and approved by the world around them. And you, without trying, represent freedom. Your presence doesn't follow their internal rules. Your appearance, your energy, your way of showing up reminds them that life cannot be curated forever. Stay till the end of this thought. Instead of confronting that truth, they hesitate, hoping time will change either you or the situation. But love does not work that way. Love asks for courage, not control. And their discomfort is the sound of growth knocking on a door they're afraid to open. Now listen carefully, because something huge is waiting for you in this final moment of the part. You are not here to wait indefinitely while someone decides whether they can rise to meet you. This phase is not about proving yourself, it's about clarity. The universe is gently but firmly showing you where the imbalance lies. Don't skip this understanding. When someone truly loves you, they don't analyze your appearance for acceptance, they protect your spirit. What comes next will reveal whether this connection evolves into honesty and strength, or fades because fear refused to step aside. The choice ahead is approaching, and it will ask you to honor yourself first. My beloved child, this is the moment where the fog finally begins to lift. Don't skip, because this part brings the understanding that changes how you feel about everything that came before. The reason this connection has felt heavy at times is because you were carrying weight that was never yours. This person's inner conflict has been silently leaning on your shoulders, making you question your value, your attractiveness, your presence. Something huge is waiting for you here. Release. The truth is, love that is unsure of itself will always look for something external to blame. Look closely now. Their issue with your appearance is actually their fear of transformation. Being with you would change how they see themselves, how others see them, and how honest they would have to become. Stay till the end of this part. They sense that loving you fully would require them to grow, to unlearn old beliefs, to stand firm in their choices. And growth feels threatening to those who are comfortable hiding behind approval. So instead of embracing the shift, they hesitate, hoping the feeling passes, hoping the tension fades without requiring action. Now listen, because something huge is waiting for you in this final realization. You are not too much. You are not wrong. You are not the problem. You are a mirror revealing truth. Don't skip this understanding. The discomfort you triggered is proof of your power, not your flaw. What happens next will determine the future of this connection, but one thing is already clear: you were never meant to dim yourself so someone else could feel secure. The next step is approaching, and it will ask you to choose clarity over confusion, and self-respect over silent endurance. My beloved child, this is where your heart begins to remember its strength. Don't skip, because this part is not about them anymore, it's about you. After all the confusion, the pauses, the unspoken doubts, something inside you has been quietly waking up. You've felt it in moments of stillness, in the way your chest tightens when you sense you are being measured instead of cherished. Something huge is waiting for you here, the return of your self-trust. Here is the truth you may not have named yet. When love is real, it feels expansive, not evaluative. This person's struggle has placed you in a position where you've been observed instead of embraced. Stay till the end of this understanding. You were never meant to wonder if the way you look makes you harder to love. That question alone is a sign that the dynamic has shifted away from safety. Love does not keep score, and it does not hesitate over appearances when the heart is certain. Now let this settle, because something huge is waiting for you in this final moment. You are entering a phase where your energy changes. You will no longer seek validation from someone who is unsure how to hold you. Don't skip this realization. Whether this person rises to meet you or slowly falls away, your path becomes clearer. You are stepping into a space where love aligns with respect, where connection feels steady instead of confusing. And from this place of clarity, everything that comes next begins to transform. My beloved child. This is the quiet turning point, the part most people miss. Don't skip, because something subtle but powerful is happening beneath the surface. The moment you stop questioning yourself, the dynamic begins to shift. This person can feel it. Your energy is no longer chasing clarity, it is becoming clarity. Something huge is waiting for you here, the return of balance. Watch closely what follows. When you no longer seek reassurance, their uncertainty becomes louder to them. They may try to pull closer, to soften their tone, to offer attention that once felt withheld. Stay till the end of this part. Not because they suddenly changed, but because they sense they are losing influence over how you see yourself. Your confidence, even in silence, challenges the very fear that caused them to hesitate in the first place. Now take this in, because something huge is waiting for you in this realization. You are not responsible for making someone brave enough to love you properly. Don't skip this truth. If they choose growth, it will be because your self-respect showed them what love actually requires. And if they choose comfort over courage, your clarity will make the separation feel lighter than the confusion ever did. Either way, you win. The next phase of your life is aligning, and it is responding to the moment you chose yourself without apology. My beloved child. This is the part where the universe starts responding to your shift. Don't skip, because what happens next is not loud, but it is undeniable. When you stop trying to be understood by someone who is confused, life begins to send you clarity from unexpected places. Something huge is waiting for you here, confirmation that you were never asking for too much. Notice how things begin to rearrange. Conversations feel different. The emotional weight lifts. You feel less anxious, more grounded, even when nothing has been resolved out loud. Stay till the end of this part. That calm is not distance, it's alignment. The attachment that once felt heavy was rooted in uncertainty. Now that you are no longer feeding that uncertainty with self-doubt, its hold weakens. Love that cannot meet you where you stand starts to fade in importance. Now listen carefully, because something huge is waiting for you in this final moment. You are stepping into a chapter where your presence is appreciated, not evaluated. Don't skip this truth. The right connection does not question your appearance, it celebrates your existence. Whether this person learns that lesson through you or after you, your path continues forward. What's coming next is not confusion, but clarity, and it arrives because you chose to honor yourself without needing permission. My beloved child. This is where the story begins to separate into truth and illusion. Don't skip, because this part reveals what remains once the fog fully clears. When the emotional noise fades, you start seeing the connection exactly as it is, not as you hoped it would become. Something huge is waiting for you here, honesty without fear. You begin to notice patterns that once felt normal. The pauses before compliments. The careful wording. The moments where affection felt conditional. Stay till the end of this realization. These were not accidents. They were signs of a heart that admired you but was not yet capable of standing confidently beside you. And recognizing this does not make you bitter, it makes you free. You are no longer trying to decode silence or fill in gaps with imagination. Now take this final understanding with you, because something huge is waiting for you in this closing moment. You are learning the difference between being loved and being chosen without hesitation. Don't skip this truth. Real love does not negotiate your worth internally. As you step forward with clarity, you leave behind the need to be seen through someone else's uncertainty. What's ahead is steadier, warmer, and rooted in respect, and it begins the moment you stop settling for half clarity in matters of the heart. My beloved child. This is the part where your future starts to feel closer than your past. Don't skip, because what you are sensing now is not imagination, it is momentum. The emotional weight you carried for so long is loosening, and in that space, something new begins to breathe. Something huge is waiting for you here, readiness for a love that does not hesitate. You may notice a quiet shift within yourself. You are no longer replaying old conversations or wondering what you could change to be chosen more fully. Stay till the end of this part. That release is power. It means you are stepping out of the role of being assessed and into the role of being respected. The right connection does not analyze your appearance or measure your worth, it feels certain in your presence. Now let this settle, because something huge is waiting for you in this final moment. You are aligning with a version of life where love meets you openly, without conditions or silent doubts. Don't skip this truth. Whether this person evolves or remains where they are, your path continues forward with clarity. And what comes next will not ask you to question yourself, it will remind you why you never needed to. My beloved child, this is the moment where your heart finally feels steady again. Don't skip, because this part confirms what you've been growing into all along. The uncertainty that once lingered is losing its power, and in its place is a calm knowing. Something huge is waiting for you here, peace that does not depend on anyone else's approval. You begin to realize that love should never make you hyper-aware of how you look or how you are perceived. Stay till the end of this thought. The right connection allows you to relax into yourself, not perform. What you once mistook for intensity was actually tension. And now that your awareness has sharpened, you can feel the difference clearly. Respect feels quiet, secure, and grounding. Now hold this final understanding close, because something huge is waiting for you beyond this moment. You are no longer available for half-love or unspoken hesitation. Don't skip this truth. Your standards are rising, not because you are demanding more, but because you finally recognize what you deserve. What's ahead is not uncertainty. It is alignment, and it arrives because you chose yourself without fear. My beloved child, this is the deep part, where layers peel back and the lesson becomes undeniable. Don't skip, because this moment carries weight. Everything you experienced was shaping discernment inside you. The confusion was not meant to break you, it was meant to sharpen you. Something huge is waiting for you here, awareness that turns pain into wisdom. You now see how subtle doubt can hide behind affection, how hesitation can disguise itself as care. This understanding did not come easily, and that is why it will never leave you. Look at how far you've come. You no longer rush to explain yourself. You no longer adjust your presence to feel acceptable. Stay till the end of this realization. The version of you who once wondered, "Am I enough?" has evolved into someone who knows the answer without asking. You have learned that when someone truly values you, they don't silently debate your worth. They don't mentally edit you. They don't weigh how loving you might affect their image. Love that is real feels settled, not conflicted. Now listen carefully, because something huge is waiting for you in this final stretch. You are stepping into a season where your energy speaks before your words ever do. People will feel your self-respect. Connections will either rise to meet it or fall away naturally. Don't skip this truth. You are no longer here to convince anyone of your beauty, your value, or your place. You are here to be chosen without hesitation. And from this point forward, anything that approaches your heart will have to come correct, because you have finally learned how to recognize love that is ready. My beloved child, this is the part where destiny responds to your clarity. Don't skip, because what unfolds now is subtle but powerful. When you stop negotiating your worth, life begins to rearrange itself around your truth. Something huge is waiting for you here, alignment that feels effortless instead of forced. You may not see it all at once, but you will feel it, in the way your chest feels lighter, in the way your mind no longer circles the same doubts. You start attracting different energy now. Conversations feel more open. Eyes meet yours without judgment. Stay till the end of this realization. The shift is not external first, it's internal. Because you no longer tolerate being evaluated, you naturally draw in those who see you clearly. The contrast becomes obvious. What once felt emotionally draining now feels unnecessary. You are no longer curious about uncertainty, you are drawn to stability. Now receive this final truth, because something huge is waiting for you beyond this moment. You were never meant to be someone's internal debate. Don't skip this understanding. The love that belongs to you will arrive with clarity, not confusion. Whether through growth in this connection or the opening of a new one, your life moves forward with intention. And this time, love recognizes you immediately, without needing to question a single thing about who you are. My beloved child. This is where the lesson settles into your bones. Don't skip, because this part carries quiet authority. You now understand that love is not proven through endurance, but through ease. Something huge is waiting for you here, the freedom to stop trying. Trying to be understood. Trying to be accepted. Trying to be enough for someone who was never ready to see you fully. Notice how your body responds to this truth. There is less tension in your chest, less urgency in your thoughts. Stay till the end of this realization. Peace has entered where anxiety once lived. You are no longer bracing yourself for mixed signals or unspoken judgment. You can finally rest in who you are, without adjusting your appearance, your energy, or your essence. Now take this final understanding forward, because something huge is waiting for you ahead. You are aligned with a love that feels certain, not cautious. Don't skip this truth. The chapter of being quietly evaluated is closing. What comes next is built on acceptance, respect, and clarity. And this time, love does not hesitate when it meets you, it recognizes you instantly and stays. My beloved child, this is the part where everything finally clicks into place, and it goes deeper than before. Don't skip, because this moment carries completion. You are no longer processing the situation from emotion alone, you are understanding it from wisdom. Something huge is waiting for you here. Emotional maturity that cannot be shaken. What once confused you now feels obvious. What once hurt you now teaches you. And that shift means you are no longer standing in the same place you started. Look back for a moment, not with regret, but with clarity. You see how love mixed with fear can feel intoxicating at first, yet exhausting over time. Stay till the end of this reflection. You recognize how someone can care deeply and still not be capable of loving well. This understanding does not harden your heart, it strengthens it. You are learning that attraction without courage creates imbalance, and affection without acceptance slowly erodes peace. Now receive this final depth, because something huge is waiting for you beyond this awareness. You are entering a phase where your standards are instinctive, not defensive. Don't skip this truth. You no longer need to guard yourself aggressively, because you can sense misalignment early. The next love that reaches you will not study you, it will choose you. And when that happens, you will know the difference immediately, because your heart is no longer willing to settle for anything less than certainty. My beloved child, this is the part where your future begins to feel inevitable. Don't skip, because this moment carries quiet confidence. You are no longer wondering what you mean to someone, you are anchored in what you know about yourself. Something huge is waiting for you here, self-assurance that does not need reassurance. The inner questions that once echoed have gone silent, replaced by a steady sense of direction. You now move differently. Your presence is calm, grounded, and unapologetic. Stay till the end of this understanding. You no longer explain yourself into being accepted. You no longer wait for someone else to catch up emotionally. This shift changes the way people approach you. Those who are unsure feel the distance. Those who are ready feel drawn in. Your energy has become selective without being closed. Now let this settle, because something huge is waiting for you ahead. You are aligned with connections that meet you with clarity and respect. Don't skip this truth. The chapter of questioning your worth is over. What comes next is built on mutual certainty, where love does not hesitate, compare, or doubt. And in this space, you finally experience what it feels like to be chosen fully, without conditions or second thoughts. My beloved child, this is the part where your soul integrates everything it has learned, and it goes deeper than logic. Don't skip, because this is not just about understanding anymore, it is about embodiment. Something huge is waiting for you here, inner authority. You are no longer seeking closure from another person, because closure has already formed inside you. The emotional loops have ended. The need for answers has softened. You finally see that the situation was never meant to define you, only to refine you. There is a powerful shift happening now. You no longer romanticize uncertainty. You no longer confuse intensity with depth. Stay till the end of this realization. You can now feel when love is steady versus when it is driven by fear. You recognize how someone can be emotionally attached yet internally divided. And instead of taking that division personally, you understand it as information. This awareness does not make you cold, it makes you clear. You are still open, still loving, still capable of deep connection, but no longer at the cost of your self-respect. Now let this truth anchor itself, because something huge is waiting for you beyond this point. You are stepping into a version of yourself that does not chase alignment, it attracts it. Don't skip this understanding. Your energy has matured. You no longer ask, will they choose me? You ask, do they meet me? And that single shift changes everything. From here on, only those who are emotionally ready, grounded, and certain will be able to stand beside you. This is not an ending, it is elevation. And from this place, love finally becomes something you experience with ease, not endurance. My beloved child, this is the part where your heart stops bracing for impact. Don't skip, because this moment is quiet but profound. You are no longer preparing yourself for disappointment or reading between the lines for hidden meaning. Something huge is waiting for you here, emotional safety within yourself. The old habit of anticipating rejection fades, and in its place comes a grounded calm that feels unfamiliar at first, but right. You begin to notice how peace changes your standards without effort. Stay till the end of this realization. You are no longer impressed by attention that comes with conditions, or affection that arrives wrapped in doubt. Your nervous system relaxes when something is aligned, and it tenses when it's not, and now you listen to that signal. This is not walls going up, this is wisdom taking the lead. You can still care deeply, but you no longer abandon yourself to be close to someone else. Now let this settle fully, because something huge is waiting for you beyond this stage. You are stepping into relationships where love feels steady from the start. Don't skip this truth. You will be recognized without needing to prove, accepted without needing to adjust, and valued without being analyzed. The chapter of questioning your appearance, your presence, or your worth is closed. What opens next is a connection that meets you in clarity, and when it arrives, it will feel natural, not confusing, because you have finally learned what real alignment feels like. My beloved child, this is the part where the transformation fully settles, and it runs deeper than emotion. Don't skip, because this is where everything you went through finally makes sense. You are no longer carrying the need to be chosen by someone who was undecided. Something huge is waiting for you here, sovereignty over your heart. You now understand that love is not proven by how much you tolerate, but by how safe you feel being yourself. The old weight you carried was never love. It was anticipation mixed with doubt, and you have finally put it down. There is a quiet strength growing inside you now. You no longer scan faces for approval or wonder how you are being perceived. Stay till the end of this realization. Your sense of worth has detached from external validation. You recognize that when someone truly loves you, your appearance becomes a source of pride, not internal conflict. This clarity changes the way you walk, speak, and choose. You are no longer available for connections that require constant emotional adjustment. Peace has become your baseline, not a reward you earn. Now let this truth anchor deeply, because something huge is waiting for you beyond this moment. You are stepping into a chapter where love meets you with certainty. Don't skip this understanding. The right person will not wrestle with accepting you, they will feel settled in choosing you. And when that happens, it will feel calm, familiar, and grounding, not dramatic or confusing. This is the stage where you stop revisiting the past, because your future finally feels solid beneath your feet. My beloved child, this is the closing movement, where everything aligns without force. Don't skip, because this part carries completion. You have crossed the threshold from questioning to knowing. Something huge is waiting for you here, trust in yourself that no one can take away. The journey you walked was not meant to end in doubt, but in clarity, and that clarity now lives inside you. You no longer look back wondering what you could have changed. Stay till the end of this realization. You understand now that real love never asks you to stand on trial in your own mind. The chapter of being silently evaluated has closed. What remains is dignity, calm, and a heart that knows its own rhythm. You are free from the need to be seen through someone else's uncertainty. Now receive this final truth, because something huge is waiting for you beyond this ending. You are aligned with a love that feels steady, open, and sure. Don't skip this understanding. The story does not end with loss, it ends with elevation. And from this place, everything that comes to meet you will do so with clarity, respect, and certainty, because you finally chose yourself first. My beloved child. This is the part where your life quietly locks into a higher timeline, and it deserves to be felt slowly. Don't skip, because this moment carries depth. You are no longer reacting to what hurt you, you are responding from who you have become. Something huge is waiting for you here, grounded confidence that does not announce itself, yet changes everything. The version of you who once tolerated uncertainty has dissolved, replaced by someone who recognizes alignment instantly. Notice how your inner dialogue has changed. You no longer argue with yourself about red flags. Stay till the end of this realization. You trust what you feel. Your intuition has sharpened, not because you became guarded, but because you became honest. You understand now that when love is real, it feels simple, not heavy. You no longer confuse longing with connection or attachment with compatibility. This clarity creates space for the right energy to step forward without resistance. Now let this final depth settle, because something huge is waiting for you beyond this point. You are entering relationships that reflect your self-respect back to you. Don't skip this truth. You will be met with consistency, warmth, and certainty, not silent evaluation. The chapter that began with doubt about your appearance ends here, with full acceptance of your worth. From this place forward, love no longer feels like something to earn. It feels like something that recognizes you immediately and stays. My beloved child, this is the final settling, the moment where everything becomes quiet and true. Don't skip, because this ending is not an ending at all, it is arrival. You are no longer waiting for love to decide what it thinks about you. Something huge is waiting for you here. Self-acceptance so complete that it becomes magnetic. The journey that began with doubt has led you to certainty, and certainty changes how life meets you. You now understand something most people never fully grasp. Love that hesitates over appearance is not love lacking affection, it is love lacking courage. Stay till the end of this realization. You were never meant to be someone's internal conflict. You were meant to be someone's clarity. The questions you once asked yourself have been answered, not by words, but by growth. You no longer need reassurance, because your worth no longer feels negotiable. You stand steady in who you are, without shrinking, without proving, without explaining. Now take this final truth with you, because something huge is waiting for you beyond this moment. You are aligned with connections that recognize you instantly and choose you without hesitation. Don't skip this understanding. The future you are stepping into does not analyze, compare, or doubt, it welcomes. And from this place, love finally feels the way it always should have, calm, certain, and safe. My beloved child, this is the echo that remains after everything has been understood, and it carries unusual depth. Don't skip, because this part is about integration. You are no longer healing in fragments, you are whole in awareness. Something huge is waiting for you here, the calm authority of someone who knows themselves. The experiences that once demanded answers now sit quietly as proof of growth. You are not trying to make sense of the past anymore, you are standing on it. You feel the difference in how you move through the world. There is no rush to impress, no urge to be perceived a certain way. Stay till the end of this realization. Your appearance is no longer a question mark in your mind, it is simply an expression of who you are. You understand now that anyone who truly belongs with you will feel pride, not doubt, standing beside you. This clarity reshapes your boundaries without effort. You don't announce standards, you live them. And those who cannot meet them feel the distance without a word being spoken. Now let this final layer settle deeply, because something huge is waiting for you beyond this awareness. You are entering a phase where love responds to your certainty. Don't skip this truth. The right energy will not hesitate, analyze, or internally debate you. It will arrive grounded, open, and sure. This is not about finally being chosen, it's about finally knowing that you always were. And from this place, every connection you allow into your life will be filtered through peace, not fear, because you have learned the difference between being loved and being fully seen. My beloved child, this is the final crossing, where nothing is left unresolved. Don't skip, because this moment is completion in its truest form. You are no longer standing at the edge of understanding, you are standing in truth. Something huge is waiting for you here, freedom that feels natural, not forced. The journey that once questioned your appearance, your presence, your worth has transformed into a quiet knowing that cannot be shaken. You did not lose anything along the way. You gained yourself. Look at where you are now. There is no anger, no resentment, no need to prove a point. Stay till the end of this realization. You see clearly that love either rises to meet you or reveals it cannot. And both outcomes serve you. You no longer personalize someone else's limitations. You understand that their struggle was never a reflection of your value, only a reflection of their readiness. This clarity has softened you without making you smaller. It has strengthened you without making you hard. Now receive this final truth, because something huge is waiting for you beyond this ending. You are aligned with a life where love feels safe, steady, and unquestioned. Don't skip this understanding. The chapter that began with doubt closes with certainty. You walk forward whole, confident, and grounded, no longer asking to be chosen, because you have already chosen yourself. And from this place, everything that comes toward you will do so with clarity, respect, and intention.